Morning everybody, welcome to Horseshoe Lake for another one of our little videos. This one's about a short session fishing just using pellets and corn, baits that we all got, save, in the barns, in the sheds, bait bags or anything like that. So I'm just going to unlock this one, we'll put this one back and then we'll run you through a few bits and pieces. Right, we'll just have a quick run through the gear that I've brought with me today. Like I say, this is just a short session. I'm only going to be here for 3, maybe 4 hours absolute tops. So I've not brought a massive amount of gear with me. All I've brought with me is my pole. That's 13 metres, but actually I've only got it set up at 11 today. Just for convenience. The fencing's behind and it just saves breaking it down if I fish any longer. It's a comfortable, just sits in there. 11 metres, so again it's just making life easy for myself. Like I say, short session. I've got 4 top kits. One is a cupping kit, again just to pot some bait out, and I've got 2 rigs set up. Basically I've just got 2 rigs set up so I can fish one at 10 o'clock and one at 1 o'clock, so it just gives me 2 options and 2 areas to fish. And then the third one is a shallow one, just in case I see any cruising fish, and I could be cheeky just to swing it out and see if we can get it off the top basically as it's swimming past. Okay, we'll have a quick look at the baits. Like I said earlier, this is for a short session, bit of a last minute decision to come, so no chance to shoot off to a bait shop, get some worms, some ground bait, maggots, casters or anything like that. So basically this is what I had with me or in my bait bag in the shed. So basically the only baits that I've got with me at the moment, or brought with me today, is I've just wetted down some 2 mils. They'll be like my feed pellets, acting like my ground bait really. The Bream like them, the Carp like them. We all use them on the method feeders down here. So like I say, add some micros, wetted them down. That's my first bait. Second bait, I had half a bag of 6 mils. So I've got some hard 6 mil pellets just to put on the band over the top of the micros. I can introduce a few of those within the pole pot, just as a bit of loose feed, nothing. So again, like I say, just stuff that I had in the shed. The third bait is an 8 mil pellet, just as a bait change. If I'm feeding the micros and the 6 mils, it just gives me a bit more of a standout bait. Or I can actually use these as feed, depending on what we get, what species are about. If the carp are really having it, then I'll stop feeding the 6 mils and I'll probably just start feeding 8 mils. But again, 8 mils. And the last one is, I found a tin of corn. Everybody has got corn knocking around, nothing special. A tin of 75p, happy shopper corn. What can be more simple than that? First rig is a 4x14 float with a wire stem, running down to the shotting pattern. I've got it on set on a strung out bulk, running from the top of the 6-inch hook link, 1.5 spacings, all the way up to the full length of the shot, running down from a 6-inch hook link, coming down to a size 14 hook with a band. The elastic on this one is a 12-14 hollow elastic, plenty powerful enough for the carp in here, and soft enough if we do catch a bream. So that's the first rig. And the second rig is, I really want to go for bream on this rig. It's a wire stem float. Again, it's a 0.4 float this time, so a little bit lighter. The elastic's the same, which is a 12 to 14. Again, a bit heavy for bream, but if I get a bonus carp, it just gives me confidence I can get it in. This time, the shotting is slightly different. This time I've gone for a bulk using an Olivet. If I use corn, there is a lot of roach in here. It just helps bomb it through the water down onto the deck a little bit quicker. Saves all the hassle of the roach and snaring it as it's going through the water. So I've got the Olivet 6 inches below that. I've got a first dropper 6 inches below that. I've got the second dropper just above the 6-inch hook link, which is tied to a size 14 with a quick stop spike, so I can just hair rig a piece of corn onto that. So that's the second rig. The third rig is my mugging rig. It's a nice day. There's might be the odd carp come cruising past. So basically I've set this one up 2 foot deep. I've got a Drennan crystal float, basically because it just cuts down on the silhouette. A little bulk shot halfway down, a foot down, and then a foot from that is a size 14 hook with a band, so I can just put a pellet on, and basically it's got a 6 foot piece of line from the hook to the Dacron connector where we connect on the rig, basically just so I can swing this rig out and keep the pole tip away from any cruising carp, and hopefully they'll take it and we'll catch one. Okay, the way I'm sort of like presenting the bait is for this first rig is I'm just setting a little trap. So I'm putting minimal, I've got a pole mounted pot on there, so I'm literally putting 4 or 5, 6 mils in there, a little tiny nugget of micros just to cap it in, just to hold the 6 mils in, and I've put a standout bait of an 8 mil on the band. So basically all it is literally 4 or 5 pellets into the pot, a little nip, a little nugget of micros just to drop in there, and then we'll ship it out, and I'll show you how we tip it in and lay the rig in. So nice and steady going out, no jerky movements, don't want any bait flying out the pot. Defeats the object. You just got to bring it back in again and reload it. Now I have got a far bank marker there which I've lined myself up on, so that's lined up. So I'm just going to tip that bait out of the pot, and then I'm going to pick the rig up and lay it in and bring me float back over the top where I put those micros and pellets in. Now I've got it on a tight line as that falls through the water, so I'm watching that level up, and that pellet is now right over the top of the feed. So fingers crossed, that float will soon disappear and we'll be into one. Nice to see there's a bit of scum blowing down the lake. This will make life a little bit more awkward than it has been, but that's fishy. And there we go. Oh, it's woke up now. No rush with this, the elastic's doing all the work. I think it's only one of our little stockies. Yeah, just one of our little stocky carps. Good fun though. Pulls the elastic out. And there you go, just one little trap. Of one of our little stocky mirrors. We'll get him unhooked and we'll drop him straight back in. Okay, we've been fishing the pellet down there and having a nice steady run of those small stockies, mirrors. Had a go at mugging, good fun. We nicked a couple off on that, hard work, but that 6mm change in the pellet made all the difference. All the while I've been putting in little bits of bait on a corn line, basically just with a pole pot, just literally quarter full of micros and probably about 10-12 grains of corn. But basically just shipping it out up to my marker, end of my pole, so I'm just been nice and steady out. I've got a far bank marker over the far side to make sure that my float goes over the top. I'm putting my elbow on the end of the pole, I'm lining this up with my far bank marker and just tipping it out. So it's a little bit more feed than obviously with the pole pot on the pellet line, but we've been ticking this over for about an hour now and we haven't been anywhere near it. So we'll just drop that in, we'll give it 5 minutes and then we'll go and have a look over the corn line. Okay, so we fed that about 10 minutes ago and just left it over there. There's been a few little bubbles come up. So basically we've got a hair rig corn, just a single grain. There's a lot of scum now blowing down into this bay. The wind has turned and it's blowing down, so it's getting a little bit awkward with presentation, but we'll go out and we'll have a look and see whether we can snare one on the corn. So this is really the first look, just to see if there's anything there. This is the bait option, the second bait option that we were talking about. Pellets on one line, corn on another, so I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. Like I say, I've got only pellets and corn with me today, so as a hook bait, it just gives me, the corn gives me that different hook bait to go at. We know pellet's been working really well today. We've had sort of like 15 plus carp, and there you go. First drop in, after feeding, left it for 10 minutes, we've been feeding this for over an hour. First drop in, and I think this might be a bream. And anybody that knows me and Horseshoe, give me a net of their bream over carp every day. So to catch one of these over the corn line, this could be interesting. So yeah, a little bream of about pound and a half, £2 on the corn, as quick as that. Happy days. Haven't fed anything, we've gone straight back out just to see what's there. If we don't get another take, which we have, then I was going to put some more feed in, but that's literally been in the water a minute and a half. And my lovely slimy friends have turned up. This is another bream. Only a small one. The elastic is too much for these, but there's a lot of carp still cruising around. So just taking the time, we can get them in. There you go. Oh, come here. Another cheeky little bream. And back she goes. So we've been having a go for these carp that have been cruising on the top for the last 10 minutes. They've been playing ball, but I've been using an 8mm pellet, fish 2 foot deep as per the rig. So I've switched and put on a 6mm pellet just to slow that fall down a little bit more. And the first drop in front of the carp's nose with a 6mm pellet, and this is the result. So just that little change in the fall of the bait and the size of the bait has made the difference, because we were dropping pellets right on these carp's noses, and they just weren't having it. I think it was the pellet was just dropping too fast through the water, and they couldn't be bothered to chase it. So as soon as we put the 6mm pellet on, which is obviously a smaller, lighter pellet, literally instant, on top of this carp's nose, and away it went. The float there is. It looks like a nice little mirror, probably about £4 or £5. And that was just the result of swapping to a smaller pellet. Try and hold her up if she'll sit still. Nice horseshoe mirror. Let's get her on up and put her back in. You can't beat mugging. Mugging is all about spotting the carp. Polaroid glasses are a must for this. Basically what I'm doing is I'm looking around for cruising fish. With the mugging rig, it's only 2 foot deep. I'm looking just to swing this rig out in front of the cruising fish and pretty much drop it within about 18 inches of its nose, if I can. 18 inches, 2 foot of its nose. Wait for it to take it, and if it takes it, it takes it. If it doesn't, then move the pole, look for another one, and go again. Mugging at its best. Sit still. Nice little £4 common. Mugging. Love it. So there you go, a short session, only been fishing three and a bit hours, had enough, ready to go home, just using the baits that I've got, the pellets and the corn. Had a cracking day, had about 10-11 fish, carp on the pellet rig, on the deck. We've had half a dozen mugging off the top, 3 or 4 carp on the corn and a couple of bream on the corn. So by mixing things around, using pelleters hook bait, corners hook bait, I haven't put all my eggs in one basket. So nice day, 3 hours fishing, probably 40-50 pound of fish. On basically, like I was saying, there's 75 pence worth of bait with a tin of corn. So if you think you haven't got any bait, just do what you can come down here, you can catch fish. And the other thing to remember, if you, for the guys, the members that just fish the waggler, you can just catapult some pellets out, catapult some corn out, throw some corn out, throw some pellets out, and you can fish the waggler over the top.